Claude Fable 5 is supposed to be the massive architectural upgrade, but after running it head-to-head against the newly optimized Opus 4.8, the results were not as obvious as I expected. What's up, trackers? Welcome back to AI Tool Tracker. I'm Vinny. Anthropic's Fable 5 is generating a ton of hype, running on a heavy-duty architecture built for deep tasks. But beneath the hood, it's a bit of a token glutton, effectively eating up double the tokens of the incredibly efficient, reliable Opus 4.8 baseline. Today, we are skipping the theoretical benchmarks and throwing both models into a real-world creative prompt battle. Same prompts, zero brand loyalty, just raw, unedited code execution. To stress test these models, we designed a brutal three-tiered gauntlet. I have used Fable and Opus 4.8 at medium effort, just for transparency.
First, the website test. Building a premium, dark luxury Safari landing page to judge visual creativity and front-end polish. Second, the game test. Creating a retro Mario-style platformer called Sugar Rush Factory to evaluate core physics, controls, and dual enemy behaviors. Third, the stock analyst test. Rigging up a live financial terminal to measure data structures and automated recommendation engines.
Let's skip the talking and look at the screens. Test 1, let's ride. First up, we wanted an immersive landing page for a fictional high-end Safari company. We asked for a premium, non-generic travel template with layered jungle assets and a cursor-tracking Safari Jeep interaction.
Opus 4.8 set an incredibly high bar. Look at this layout. It went with a gorgeous, cinematic dark palette, deep forest greens, high-contrast golds, and elegant typography reading, "Disappear into the living dark of the canopy." But check out the cursor interaction. As my mouse moves, a clean, dotted trail line dynamically charts a path across the screen, leaving glowing waypoint markers behind a tiny, custom Safari Jeep vector. It's snappy, fully responsive, and highly professional. Honestly, a stellar baseline.
Then we fired up Fable 5, and it took the visual aesthetic to a completely different tier. Instead of structured layout boxes,
Fable 5 introduced organic, fluid wave silhouettes in the background that create an incredible sense of a shifting, living jungle canopy. But typography reads like an elite, high-fashion travel magazine. And the Jeep cursor tracking? Instead of a rigid dotted line, Fable 5 engineered a beautifully smooth, looping golden ribbon trail that bends and flows naturally with the Jeep's momentum. It also grouped destination cards like Emerald Basin and Mistfall Ghats into clean, minimalist text listings that elegantly expand with subtle micro-interactions on hover.
For visual storytelling, layout maturity, and premium UI execution, Fable 5 absolutely evolves the front-end game here. For Test 2, we asked for a classic Mario-style side-scrolling browser game. We needed gravity, moving conveyor belts, hazard, and at least 2 unique enemy types. This is where the narrative shifts, because a newer model does not automatically mean better execution.
Fable 5 wins major points for its initial wrapper. It served up a beautiful title screen, a glossy violet neon container border, and a retro meltdown game over screen. But when you hit the Start Shift button, the actual game design completely breaks. Look closely at the screen right here. Fable 5 suffered a massive level design math error. The jump physics and the platform heights do not match. No matter how hard you smash the spacebar, the little worker character physically cannot clear the height of the first platform. It's completely soft-locked from progression right out of the gate. A beautiful wrapper, but a broken game loop.
Now look at what the newly optimized Opus 4.8 pushed out. It went absolute indie developer mode.
Not only did it build a beautiful arcade title screen with responsive mobile sizing options, but the gameplay loop is entirely flawless and highly calibrated. You get a HUD tracking score, sugar crystals collected out of 24, a ticking timer, and 3 heart-based lives. The level design has actual mechanical variety. We have glass-like floating platforms, hot syrup hazard pools, and green-striped conveyor belts that actively push your player character and shift your momentum. And look at the enemy logic. It didn't just throw a basic patrolling box. It coded a cute pink crawling bot on the ground and a massive, menacing purple thwomp-style crushing block that drops dynamically from the ceiling, with spikes on its base. The camera follow is fluid across both axes, the score-popping effects work, and it's actually fun to play.
Opus 4.8 completely schools the newer model on raw logic, math, and mechanical execution. Style is cool, but substance wins the game. Finally, Test 3, a real-time stock analyst interface with a refined dark theme, responsive financial data grids, and an automated recommendation engine.
Fable 5 handled this with absolute software engineering brilliance. Look at how polished this interface is. It tracks 23 separate stocks across dynamic sectors with ticking live updates. But look under the trend column. Fable 5 didn't just put flat numbers. It generated fully functional, custom inline sparkline graphs showing visual performance waves for every single stock. On the right side, it built a responsive market alerts feed log, catching trading anomalies in real time. And its global search engine is fully functional. Type in random letters and it handles the filtering smoothly without breaking a sweat. It also utilizes a clean internal tab bar navigation structure to swap between specialized views effortlessly. Opus laid out its coordinated views on a massive single scrollable canvas. Look at what happens when you scroll down. It generated a full standalone horizontal bar chart representing sector performance right next to a massive, fully dynamic SVG momentum versus risk scatter plot map. The bubbles on the Opus scatter plot are color-coded, organized cleanly into specific quadrants like strong and steady or danger zone, and their sizing dynamically scales based on the stock's market cap size.
Fable 5 gave us an incredibly cohesive, functional software terminal layout with brilliant inline sparkline rendering, while Opus 4.8 gave us heavy-duty macro financial analytics dashboards. This test is a razor-thin draw depending on what type of interface architecture you prefer. So what's the real breakdown by use case? If you are a front-end developer looking for elite visual storytelling, premium background layers, and cinematic editorial maturity, Fable 5's artistic rendering engine is unmatched. But if you are building functional web tools, browser games requiring calibrated physics calculations, or reliable software applications that won't suffer catastrophic math errors, or chew through double your token count, Opus 4.8 remains the undisputed champion of the mountain. It just proves that the absolute newest model isn't always the automatic choice for the job. If you want more real AI model battles with actual prompts, actual results, and no fanboy nonsense, subscribe to AI Tool Tracker. See ya.